Hello everyone, and welcome to part 10 of my Rams Connected franchise here on Cloud 92 TV. And as you can see, I'm showing you the postseason divisional round, just showing you some of the games that went on there. So the conference championships going on are the Baltimore Ravens up against the Denver Broncos, and of course the St. Louis Rams up against the New Orleans Saints. And I'm just going through some of the injuries right here that are going on in the league. You can see the Saints don't really have that many injuries, so we will be going up against their full team, you could say. Now, as I normally do, I'll start off the video just with a little bit of news going on with my channel right now. So, the first thing I want to tell you guys about is, it's kind of a little thing, but it is something nonetheless, and it is that I recently created a new channel art banner thing for my channel, because my old one, I think I made that back in like August or something. It wasn't that very good quality-wise, so I redid it. I think it looks pretty good now that I'm transitioning my channel more into a sports commentary, Madden, NBA kind of channel. I decided to theme the banner that way. Now, the next thing I want to talk to you guys about in this video is that I've been asking you guys a lot lately for suggestions for NBA teams for my series in March and Madden teams for my series next year. And I decided rather than having all of these suggestions put out at me, I'm going to create a special video probably in a couple weeks or so, around a month right before I release the NBA 2K14 series. That way I can compile all of the suggestions you guys have in just one video, and I'll probably give you guys around 8 options, because as I explained earlier, I don't want to be playing as real dominant teams. So that is all the news I have for this channel in this episode. So let's get into the gameplay, even though the gameplay necessarily hasn't started yet. So we are going up against the New Orleans Saints, and this is obviously the most important game we've had in our season thus far. We are rematching a team that we stole the number 1 seed in the NFC from a couple weeks back in the season. I think it was in week 14, I'm not completely sure, but we are at home at this game, and that is going to be a key factor for this Rams team. And going into this game, I kind of set like a pre-game strategy I had for going up against this Saints team, because you can't just go into this game not knowing what you're going to do. So I had 2 basic strategies, one on offense, one on defense. And my defensive strategy this entire game is to pressure Drew Brees the entire game as much as I can, because I know the Saints have a decent offensive line. They don't have a great one, but I know if we give Drew Brees too much time in the pocket, he'll easily be able to get the ball to his good receivers, and we do not want that to be happening in this game. Now, my offensive approach going into this game is to run the ball as much as we possibly can. If you guys saw the previous episode, Jacquizz Rodgers recently broke the record for the most rushing yards and the most rushing touchdown in a single game, so it's not an over-exaggeration to say he's playing like the best running back in the league right now. He is having an incredible postseason up to this point, so it would just be weird and crazy not to give him the ball as much as we can. So what I'm going to try to do is try to run him as much as we can, and then when they're expecting run, to do play actions and things with Case Keenum, because he is a pretty good quarterback. He's definitely way more overrated in this game than he is in real life, because he had just a god-awful season with the Texans this past year. I think they ended the season with like a 13-3 record. That's terrible considering I think they went like 13-3 the past year. So right now on 3rd and 12, the Saints have the ball at the 18-yard line. Drew Brees is back. He's thrown it to the right side to Josh Morgan, who falls down without going out of bounds. That is definitely something they need to fix in the next Madden, because receivers do that all the time. I could make an entire montage of plays just like that. Right now we're doing a pitch to Jacquizz Rodgers on the right side. He gets a 29-yard rush on his first rush of the game. So now on 3rd and 7, we're going to be forced to pass the ball. Keenum finds Chris Gibbons on the right side for an 11-yard gain. We now get the ball at the 15-yard line. On 3rd and 2, we're just going to do an ISO run right up the middle with Jacquizz Rodgers. He runs up there, and he gets down just 1 yard short of the end zone. Now, this is a really weird play, because I play on GameFlow, and I'll just do audibles and switch the play. We get the touchdown right here, which puts us at a 7-0 lead, which is good for our team, but I have no idea why the GameFlow setting would tell me to go in a shotgun on the 1 yard line. On 1st and goal, I thought that was something that was kind of weird, and you don't see that often in Madden, where the game flow option makes absolutely 0 sense. Right now, Darren Sproles just ran up the middle for about a 12-yard gain, and Sproles was kind of hurting us this game. I played more conservative and had a lot of our defensive backs back, mainly to guard the receivers, because I didn't want Brees just throwing the ball downfield. But by having so many defensive players back, it really gave Sproles an easy opportunity to do runs just like that up the middle, or draw plays where he just got easy yards. So right now on 3rd and 2, they have it on our 49-yard line. We have to stop them right here and prevent them from getting a field goal. and Breeze gets sacked right there. Good play. That was by Sims. I think Chris Long, or one of our defensive linemen, is hurt, and that's why he is in. He's normally not a starter. Right now, Keenum is giving the ball to Tavon Austin for about a 20-yard gain. We're doing a play action right here, and as weird as this may sound, having Jaquiz Rodgers back there is a huge boost for our team, both with our run offense and our pass offense, because when we do play action passes just like that, the defense always has to consider whether or not we'll do a draw play or something like that, so they can never really have all of their defensive players back, because we always have that risk of giving the ball to Rodgers at the last second and giving him a big run up the field. Speaking of big runs, we're giving it to Rodgers on the left side. We get a good block from our fullback Harkley right there, and he gets pushed out of bounds at the 5-yard line. Right now, it is 3rd and goal at the 3-yard line. We're doing the same draw play that we did to get into the end zone earlier, and it worked for the second time, so that's a touchdown for the Rams. The score will now be 14-0, and Jaquiz Rodgers is spiking the ball in the end zone. He already has 2 touchdowns in the first quarter of this game, just showing what a dominant running back he is in this league, and he's distinguishing himself from other running backs. I think he should have won the MVP in this season, but he was injured for about 3 or 4 weeks, so that gave Peyton Manning, who ended up winning the MVP in this season, an easy opportunity to win the MVP. And you can see Jimmy Graham right there getting his first reception of the game, and that is exactly what I did not want this team to be doing. Right now, the Saints have the ball on a key 3rd and 1 to get a first down. Ingram goes up, and he fumbles it. Cortland Finnegan causes the fumble. Chris Long picks up the ball, and he is down at the 40. A great play by this Rams defense, not giving up a field goal or a touchdown. That was a key play for this team. Right now, Jaquiz Rodgers is running outside. He cuts back in and is down at the 44-yard line. That fumble cause being the biggest moment in this game up to this point, because if it weren't for that fumble cause, they could easily have narrowed our gap right now to just a 7-point lead or an 11-point lead. They would have definitely gotten field goal, but there is a chance that they could have made a big play there. Right now on 3rd and 5, Keenum is rolling out to the right, finds Jaquiz Rodgers, who drops the pass, so we will try to kick a field goal from the 39-yard line. Zerline will be kicking the ball right from the eye of the Rams, so the ball is up, and it is through the uprights. The score will now be 17-0. We have shut out this Saints offense up to this point in the game, which is pretty good for our defense, because I know if we can shut down their offense, there's no doubt we're going to win this game. Right now, they're giving it to Darren Sproles on the left side, who gets hammered by McDonald. That will teach them not to run the ball outside on this Rams team. Right now on 1st and 10, there's about 6 minutes left. Breeze is back, and they're going to pass this time. Breeze is throwing it to the right side to Marcus Colston, who spins away from Cortland Finnegan and is down at around the 45-yard line. So I hope you guys saw that statistic that was just put up on the screen. It said that they are 0 for 3 on 3rd down conversions, and right there again, we stopped them at midfield. The Saints cannot get past the middle of the field, which is great, because obviously they're not going to score if they can't get past that. Right now, they will punt us the ball at the 50-yard line. It goes out of bounds at the 11, so we're going to need to make an 89-yard drive if we want to score here. Keenum is back, and we're doing a quick slant route to Tavon Austin, who gets bumped up to the 29-yard line. No worries, I think that was someone on the Saints roster that got hurt there. Right now, we're doing this weird run to the outside. Rodgers bounces off one defender and is hit down. A 5-yard loss right there, just to prove that Rodgers is not a quote-unquote perfect running back, because I have really only shown his good plays, and I just wanted to show you guys there that he doesn't always have good plays. Right there, Brandon Lloyd is getting the ball at the 48-yard line. We have the 2-minute warning, and Keenum will throw the ball to Michael Floyd on a quick slant route, who gets upfield to the 24-yard line. He gets batted down that play, and he will not return for about a quarter and a half in this game. Right now, we're doing this weird curl flats route to Brandon Lloyd on the right side, who gets inside their 10-yard line. We're making that 89-yard drive, proving that we are a Super Bowl ready team. Right now, we're doing an ISO run right up the middle with Jaquiz Rodgers, who gets hit down at the 1-yard line. We're just going to do a no huddle and do another ISO right up the middle. We don't want to give them a chance to bring out their goal line defense. Here, we're going to give it to him again. He gets up the middle. Touchdown Rams. 24-0. Give us that NFC Championship trophy. We are shutting out a high-flying Saints offense, and we are just demolishing their defense. Right now, with about 55 seconds left, the Saints have the ball. Reese is back on 2nd and 3. He's given way too much time in the pocket. He finds Marcus Colston. I try to intercept the ball with Cortland Finnegan. I don't get it, so right here, they're going to try to get past midfield. Let's see if they can do it this time. Breeze is back, and our defensive line is bringing on the pressure. He's throwing it downfield to Marcus Colston, and it is batted down by Stewart, almost picked off by Cortland Finnegan shortly after. So with about 3 seconds left, we're just going to do 4 verticals downfield. Keenum is back, and he's going to bomb it downfield to Brandon Lloyd. Let's see if he gets it, and it is batted down. So we will end the first half with a 24-0 lead, which is a really good lead for this Rams team. Now, I want to talk to you guys mainly about this Rams offense going into this game. I looked back at all the episodes that we've had up to this point, and I calculated that we're scoring around 42 points every game I'm playing, and that's just ridiculous considering that we don't have a star quarterback or star receiver. So what I'm thinking is we will be doing an off-season episode, whether it be after this episode or after a Super Bowl episode. We'll be having an off-season one, and I think I may want to pick up one really good receiver to go along with Tavon Austin, because I do think Brandon Lloyd's doing a pretty good job, but I do think he would be better as a third-string receiver. And I know one of the receivers that always seems to test free agency is Hakeem Nicks, so we may be able to pick up him. And you can see Tavon Austin trying to hurdle over that Saints defender. And now that we're in the second half, I do want to talk to you guys about the real-life NFL. And if you saw my last episode, I projected the Super Bowl to be Patriots Seahawks, and I got one of the games right, so I do deserve some credit. But I was completely wrong with the Broncos game. I thought that the Patriots were going to win, and they just got completely outplayed that game. So that was just a bad projection on my part. So now the Super Bowl is Seattle versus the Denver Broncos. And although I will be rooting for the Broncos in this game, I do project the Seahawks to win, mainly because I think they're just overall a better team. And the winner of this game is going to come down to the Seattle defense versus the Broncos offense. And I do think that even with the Broncos' dominant offense, I do think that Seattle will have the upper hand in it. One, because they just have an amazing defense overall, and two, because they're playing in New York, where it will no doubt be cold, which makes it definitely harder to pass the ball. And the Broncos offense is centered around passing. They do have a decent running back in Sean Moreno, but I do not think he's a top running back in the league. And if the Seahawks win, I am rooting for the Broncos, but I won't be heartbroken if the Seahawks win, because if you guys saw that Richard Sherman interview at the end of the 49ers game, you guys know how pumped up Richard Sherman gets for these games, and if he gets that excited for an NFC Championship, I just would love to see his reaction if he wins the Super Bowl. I think it would just be hilarious, and it would be one of those historic clips. Obviously, the clip he just had this past Sunday is going to be one that people always look at, kind of like the playoffs clip or something like that. I do think it'll be something that people will always remember, just because it was so over the top, and I can't remember the name of the reporter that was talking to him, but she was just in such shock that she was talking to someone that was being this fierce. And the funny thing about that clip is, over the summer, I watched this top 100 players of the past year, and it interviews all these players, right? And Richard Sherman is actually a really well-spoken dude. He does come across off as a really nice guy, but after seeing that clip, I just thought it was so hilarious to see him go from what he did on that documentary to what he did in the actual game. And the last thing I want to say about that whole incident is that when I went on ESPN this morning, the people on the show were debating whether or not Richard Sherman went kind of overboard in that interview. And in my opinion, I don't think he went overboard, because in the games, you'll have guys occasionally even fist fighting with each other. If you guys remember a couple of years back, I'm not sure, it was on some sort of holiday, it may have been Thanksgiving or Christmas, but it was Andre Johnson and Cortland Finnegan got in a fight when Cortland Finnegan was on the Titans still, and they got in this big fist fight in the middle of the game, and people didn't seem to make as big a deal of that as they are doing with this whole Richard Sherman incident. I went on YouTube earlier today, and on the entire sports section of YouTube, they have that Richard Sherman interview, so I don't think Sherman should get fined for it. I do think he will end up getting fined for it, because he was penalized in the game. They did call a penalty on him in the game when he taunted Crabtree and Colin Kaepernick on the sidelines, so he was already penalized for what he did. He probably acknowledges now what he did was wrong. He was just caught up in the moment, so I don't understand why the NFL would fine him or give him any kind of penalty for it. So you guys can tell me what you think of that whole Richard Sherman incident, and you can tell me who you think is going to win the Super Bowl in the comments below. So you can see right there, Jaquiz Rodgers picking up a touchdown. We are just blowing out this Saints team at this point. The score is 45-0. Drew Brees and the Saints now have the ball at the 20-yard line. They're just trying to get back in this game. Odds are we probably already won. There's only 8.5 minutes left, but Brees is going to fight until he loses the game. He's not going to give up at this point. Brees is now back on 1st and 10. He's thrown it to the left side, and it is picked off by Janoris Jenkins. He was covering Lance Moore on that play. Moore dives and misses. He's being chased down by Drew Brees. Brees misses, and touchdown Janoris Jenkins. Touchdown Rams. And that play basically shows what a dominant defense we have. If we can shut out the Saints in 4 quarters and get pick sixes like that, we can seriously go far in this league. So the Saints will get the ball now on 2nd and 7. Brees is back, and he's trying not to throw another pick six. The pressure is coming on Chris Long. Brees gets the ball away to Josh Morgan. A great play by Drew Brees and Josh Morgan. A good connection between the quarterback and wide receiver. Now Brees has the ball on the 41-yard line on 2nd and 7. Brees will throw it to the left side, and Janoris Jenkins, again, 2 interceptions in just a matter, I think, of around 8 or 10 plays. He gets tackled down right there at the 47-yard line. And you guys know, we're winning this game. I'm taking out all the starters because I do not want anyone getting hurt for the Super Bowl. A huge game for this team. And you guys probably noticed, I'm not just subbing out our starters, I'm subbing out our backups as well, because you never know in the Super Bowl, anyone could seriously get hurt, and I don't want to have an issue in that game where one of our starters gets hurt and we have to play one of our third string guys. So on 3rd and 4 right now, Kellen Clemens is doing a short pass to his tight end. We elect to go forward on 4th and 1. I don't want to give them the ball, I just want to waste out some clock. So Isaiah P gets that first down on 4th down. So it will be 3rd and 10 right now at the 40-yard line. We're doing a play action with Zach Stacy. Clemens is back and he's going to try to throw the ball downfield, and it is almost picked off by that Saints defender. It wouldn't really have mattered at this point in the game, but we will still get a field goal out of this drive. So we will bring Greg the Leg Zerline out. He will make that field goal, no question. The score is now 55-0. A dominant performance by this Rams team. So with about 3 minutes left, the Saints have the ball. This game is just a blowout at this point. Marcus Colston gets a good reception there, and he gets about 20 yards off that. It's great to see that Marcus Colston is still giving an effort, even though this game is basically over. Drew Brees is back right now on 1st and 10. He gets sacked, and it is picked up by our defensive tackle Sims. That will be the end of this game. No question at this point. No chance for a comeback. But Kellen Clemens wants to attempt to earn a starting spot, so we're going to do some passes right here. He's going to run with it, running upfield like Michael Vick, and he dives past the first down marker. I'm still not sure how you can do just a normal quarterback dive where they slide and attempt not to get hurt, because typically when I dive, they just do a normal dive forward, and sometimes they even fumble the ball. So if you guys know how to do that, you can tell me in the comments. On 3rd and goal, we're going to do a run with Leon Washington up the middle. He gets into the end zone. It did not look like he got in there, but the refs called it that way. So that will be a touchdown for the Rams. The score will now be 61-0, and like we did last game, we like to rub in our wins. We're going to do a fake field goal pass. We will get it to our tight end Potter. You can see Mark Sanchez getting some playing time there. And that will end this game with the final score of 63-0. An amazing game by this Rams team, and the St. Louis Rams are advancing to the Super Bowl. An amazing achievement for this team, especially since I expected this first year to be more of a rebuilding year. Luckily for us, some players such as Janoris Jenkins, who is your game's MVP, as well as newer players such as Case Keenum and Jaquiz Rogers and Brandon Lloyd, really stepped up this year and helped us make it to the Super Bowl, the ultimate achievement for this team. Our next goal is to win it. We have proven in previous games that we play like the best team in the NFL. All we have to do now is go into the Super Bowl and play the way we know we are capable of playing. You can see Oscar Wiggles there shaking hands with Jeff Fisher. They're obviously happy because they are going to the Super Bowl in the first year that Oscar Wiggles has taken over this team. You can see the game stats, and for the first time ever in this series, I believe, I'm not completely sure, we did better in every single game stat today, which just shows you what a talented Rams squad this is. If they can go up against top teams like the Saints twice and demolish them both times and do better in every single statistic. So I'm showing you the other conference championship that went on. The Baltimore Ravens played the Denver Broncos in Denver, and they beat Denver on the road 40-27. So you guys know what this means. We will be playing the Baltimore Ravens in the Super Bowl. That should be a really good game. I'm just showing you their roster, and you can see right there, Joe Flacco is actually hurt. I'm not sure if he will be playing in the Super Bowl or not. You guys will need to see that in the following episodes. So I hope you guys have a great day. God bless you guys. Bye.